I am so excited to bring you the gritty glaze. Here's all of our ingredients and here's the finished roast. First we're going to add these flowers and my favorite, the nooch. As you notice, my measurements are very loose, but I like to cut them in smaller pieces.
This is part of what makes the roast not too dense.
If you do anything hot right now, it's going to activate the yeast. So we're doing our cold water. This is my absolute favorite brand. I love this Ninja. Blend that till smooth. Let's see how that looks. Beautiful. Before we mix the dry and the wet ingredients, we are going to get our broth ready. That's going to be our simmering broth. We're also going to heat the oven to 300 degrees. Everybody always asks me, how do you keep your pan so clean, Lenny? Nobody asks me that. This is our only saucepan. We don't have a lot of stuff, so we live tiny in a way because we just have one of most things. We're going to also put our water. My other favorite flavor here is the not beef. It gives it that sweet flavor. I love smoked paprika. I think my friend Shirley, the chef, is the one who turned me to smoked paprika. I have some from the Italian market here in Philly. I got this pre-pandemic. And just cook it till it's boiling and then you stop. In the meantime, we are going to add our wet ingredients that we made before earlier. Stir them in to get that messy part with the spoon before we start kneading. Now I'm going to start kneading it. It's very soft right now. It doesn't have that usual, really Seitan-y vibe. As you activate the gluten, you could put other things in here too, whatever you like in a roast. But keep in mind that the broth and the simmering sauces as well as the glaze are also going to be adding a lot of flavors. So you want to knead this for about 5 minutes. So I think we're getting to the part where, it's pretty roasty. We are going to ladle a little bit of this simmering broth in here like that, so there's some on the bottom, and then we are going to wrap our hunk. So if you were going to put stuffing in it, what you would do next is you would roll it out and put the stuffing in, but for now, for our purposes, I'm going to shape this into a sort of roast shape. Cover this little thing, a diaper sort of. So you've got this, which is going to keep it in its nice shape and give it that beautiful roasty look. If you were doing the full recipe, you'd need a much bigger container. I'm going to put my lid on it. You can also use foil. You need to cook this for an hour, and then we're going to flip it in another hour. We're going to make glaze. I shredded some garlic. I'm going to go ahead and use Worcestershire sauce for fun. Vegan version that's delicious. And we like to use these later for decorating it. And we're also going to have some minced onions. So here's a 1/3 cup. You'll notice some of these measurements aren't exactly a 1/3 because I really appreciate the ingredient. So I'm going to, last, a sprinkling of cayenne. This is how it looks in the beginning. The marinade is cooked down. We are also going to flip our roast right now. This will be our first flip. There's some form to it. It's a little hard to do with one hand. But yeah, it's already expanded a little bit, got a little firmer. So now we're going to put it in for another hour at the same temperature. All right, I've let it rest for an hour. I baked it for 30 minutes only because this is quite a smaller roast. It's still pretty warm. Ooh, it's hot. And you could transfer it to another pan, like maybe your cast iron pan or something like that. But I'm gonna keep it small. It's like a small roast this year. And I'm gonna add now the Jack Daniel's glaze. So you can see that it's really, firm. But since it is so small, I am gonna go ahead and just cook this for 30 minutes and see how the glaze is looking. It should be nice and glazy. Of course, you can make it any shape you want. You can also tie the cheesecloth tighter and you'll have more of the shape that you see in holiday roasts that you buy at the store. We do have the roast completed. It looks great. It's so much smaller than usual, but that's good because, this will discourage us from having parties. I am going to cut it a little bit so you can just see inside. Probably needs to cool a little bit. Looks really nice. And you could serve this with your favorite gravy. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. You want to try it?
Do I? Oh, which one? I'll probably take it. Delicious.
The final part of the recipe involves this Philadelphia whiskey. What you do is you put a shot in here. Whoa, whoa, like that. You want one?